song is Heaven on Dirt, but I think it's Heaven on Earth for Doc Walker. It's been such a long time. Chris
Yes.
and Dave, you guys stop being strangers or waiting so long.
Well, we're busy, you know, flying across the country. So far this summer, we've played a show in New Brunswick, and the next night we're in Vancouver, and then back to PEI, and then to Kenora. So and back home here for a bit, and today we fly out to Toronto. So it's busy, but that's good. Being busy is a good thing.
So I guess it really truly is Life of Country Stars. There is now the best of Doc Walker.
The best of Echo Road, the best of Doc Walker. Yeah, it's we always didn't want to ever put out a greatest hits or anything like that because you figure, they're done. As long as you put a volume 1 or something on it, I think, or you call it the best of, then you can say the best of for now. So.
Yeah, so how were the songs chosen?
Well, we went through sort of what radio had played, what the top 5s, top 10s were, and then we put some on there that we really liked. You know, it's a best of Doc Walker, so it's not like number 1s or number 2s or number top 10s. There's some songs on there that we just really love, and there's some new songs on there, but we've got like The Beautiful Life, Rocket Girl, all the big ones on there. Heaven on Dirt is one of the songs that's on there, and you know it's kind of written with a rural kind of mind frame. You know, we grew up in the prairies and around farming communities, and I think the neat thing and the feedback we've gotten about this song, it just doesn't connect with somebody who's a farmer. I mean, the whole idea of life is just having a positive outlook and just trying to get up every morning and do the best you can. So you know that's good with that. And then another song that's going to be on there is actually an old Dan Seals song called Rage On that. We'd played for years, and it's kind of an obscure song, and people would be like, when's it going to be on in your next record? And we're like, what's a Dan Seals song? So we thought for the fans, we'd do a version of it, and we put it on the best of. So I'm looking forward to it coming out. We
also have another album coming out in March that we started writing a bunch of songs for, and Heaven on Dirt was for that album. Not anymore, but it's we seem to have a really good theme going with that, and it's just exactly like Heaven on Dirt is all about balance. It's not too much, it's not too little. It's kind of, you know, it's just everything in life has to be lived that way. You know, if I get too much of my family, I need to run off to Dairy Queen by myself and sit there, so it's
with the kids.
Yeah,
I know I have to get them something, and I feel bad about it, but
well, you know, let's break off into the family now, because I've known you guys for so long, and you had little babies, and now they're tweens. I mean, does life get easier, or is it get different?
It does. You know, when people always say when you have a newborn, you're like, oh man, I don't sleep. And they're like, it doesn't get any easier. And you're like, thanks, man. I thought, but no. It definitely, and anybody who's a parent out there knows, you go through certain different stages, and my son is having his 10th birthday, Ryder, so then you go to the trying to argue with them all the time about stage, and it's unbelievable, and I love it, but it's definitely, you can get a lot of writing material out of it. I'll tell you that.
So maybe a children's album, the next one?
Oh, no. I'm a big fan of children's records.
Oh, there you go.
The Bare Naked Ladies had one. I used to drive my son to school, and I would listen to it all the way there, and I'd drop him off and listen to it all the way home, and then I would park in my garage. But before I would shut off the ignition, I would listen to the end of the next song.
So if it is a kid's album, a remake of Fred Penner's The Cat Came Back.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Yeah, we've known Fred for years, seen him on the road, and amount of respect he has still. Like, I think he went and did a university tour, and it was packed. So, because everybody who grew up listening to it is listening to that now. But I think with us, we try to write what's around us and what's real, and the Heaven on Dirt's on the new best of, but looking forward to the project in March. We have another song called Heart of the Heartland, which we just did the CP Holiday Train Tour right through the Heartland in the U.S. And got a lot of inspiration from that and just living around here. So I think it's really nice to be able to write what you know and to be able to sing it.
Well, it's so fantastic to have you here and to see you guys grow up.
Oh, I guess.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yes, the best of Doc Walker. Still more to come. We'll leave you now with a little bit more on Heaven on Dirt.
Oh.